Good evening, everyone. This is Tamika here. I am on today testing out going live. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully, you'll be able to see my screen. Looks like maybe it might be working. Let's see. Good evening, everyone. This is Tamika here. I am on today testing out going live. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully you'll be able to see my screen. Looks like maybe it might be working. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. So it looks like we have audio, looks like we have video, and I just wanted to get on really quick because I have accepted the challenge for Vlogmas 2020. Um, Dan Flores over at Artist King has challenged me to step up to the plate and put myself out there and do some live streaming. So um, I have some other things that I want to set up over time, but for right now, I just wanted to get active. And this is not going to be a very long video. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I'm just rolling with the punches. And so I am, and there may be some punches somewhere along the way here, depending on how this software decides to act with me today. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I am on Adobe Fresco, one of my favorite new programs. There's always something new that's coming out, and I actually love playing with new software too. So Adobe Fresco is one of my new favorites because I like to be able to work in ways that look somewhat traditional sometimes. Um, I'm trying to find the pencil I want to use today, um, but still allows me to work digitally, to make editing easier, to do some other things as well. So hopefully this is working. And gosh, let me turn this down. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I wrote a story recently. So if you don't know already, my name is TeMika Grooms. This is Kids Lit ATL TV, where we talk about children's books and all things related to children's books. And so what I am going to be doing today is using Adobe Fresco to just do a quick sketch, for a character sketch for a story that I did recently. And I'm really mostly only going to focus on the top portion of this child's head because I'm not quite ready to figure out all of the clothing. That's probably going to come a little bit later. I don't know that this is something that I will illustrate in the future, but what I wanted to do is just get on here and just do something for my first post for the Vlogmas. um, so anyway, so Vlogmas, if you don't know, is I'm actually just learning about it today, so I know I'm going to mess this up. But basically, it's a challenge to post all the month of December and create content. And since I have this YouTube channel, I want to make sure that I'm putting things on it that people want to see or talk about. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about today. So, um, someone posted a question, and I'll probably have to edit out the first part of this video since I'm just really rambling on. Um, but someone posted on one of my videos recently, and she's an illustrator, and she asked the question about market. Well, it seemed like she had a few other things that she was learning along the way. Children's book illustration is not easy. Just because you draw for kids does not mean that it's easy. Um, in fact, in a lot of ways, it can be a little more challenging because you have to tell a story visually, especially if you're working in picture books, which is for younger readers who don't necessarily know how to read yet. So you're telling them the story through pictures, likely in a book. where someone else will be reading the story to them. So you want to be able to convey the story visually through the pages and keep it interesting and engaging, and basically something that the child will want to read, as well as the parent. Because I know, being a parent, my kids are a little older now. I used to hate getting long books that went on and on. They weren't talking about nothing. It's like, can you get to the point of the story already? Can we get to the end? So, um, so you have to know how to be able to carry the story. And if you're an illustrator, you have to know how to carry the child through the story visually. So anyway, so this illustrator messaged me on one of the videos, and she was talking about the challenges that she ran into, and I hope that she comments on this video as well. But she was talking about some of the challenges, and then she was also talking about the marketing process for the book. So it sounded to me like she was planning to self-publish. Um, and I will say, in my opinion, whether you are self publishing or if you're working with a publisher, you do need to be prepared to market your book. Um, I am not a pro at marketing. I am learning stuff every day. Every time I put something out there in the world, even to this very moment, but every time I put something out there, um, it's marketing. But if you're marketing specifically for a book, um, there's some things you want to think about. It is definitely a business decision if you're deciding to self-publish yourself, because you're taking on the role of being the publisher. And so, what I always tell people, and I probably on some levels discourage people unintentionally, but I want folks to understand, because I've done it myself and I've made the mistakes, that if you don't if you don't think about the business aspect of publishing on the front end, you're going to pay on the back end. And you want to make sure that when you invest your time, your money, your energy in creating this thing that you love and putting it out into the world, that something comes back to you. And that something may not necessarily always be a whole lot of money, but you do want those books to go into the hands of children. I have no idea what I'm doing right now because I am talking and running my mouth. But you do want those books to go into the hands of children, and so part of your goal of being an author or an illustrator is to figure out how to do that. And so the mistake that I made one time was not starting early enough with my marketing. So I needed to be, as I was creating the book, creating works in progress is something that I could have done. I didn't know at the time that, well, that's a lie. I did too know. I just did not have my life structured to to do the regular posting on social media to create the works in progress. So let me tell the truth. The thing is that I did not have my life structured to focus and create a marketing plan that would make my project successful. And because I didn't do that, it was successful in the art that I created. The story, I think, was successful, on some levels. Just looking in hindsight, there's some things I would have done better. But I did not make a lot of sales because I did not set myself up that way. So, and I've worked with authors who have self-published, and some of them have success and others have, it's varying success. And so one of them, her name is Keisha Williams. She did a fabulous job at putting together a program, a song, a presentation that would help that book sell. She made contacts with the people who would want to buy the books, you know, without going all into the things that she did. But I mean, she really put her marketing hat on, so that she could be a successful entrepreneur. And I was just so impressed with seeing how she came up with a whole platform to market this one book. And she's since then done other books and done other work, and she's doing great things in the world. But she set that book up for success by doing the work on the front end, and maybe it kind of was on the back end because I think she was learning along the way too. But she recognized that marketing was a big piece of it. So um, I really am not paying attention to what I'm doing right now. But one of the things that she did was to put together a platform for her book to succeed. Um, and you want to put together that business plan on the front end. So I don't have a whole lot of details about what you should do to market your book. But my biggest piece of advice is to make sure you start early. Don't wait until you have actually created the work to start thinking about where it fits in the world. And just to piggyback off of that, what I just said myself, because I'm here talking myself, so I'm not really piggybacking off of anything. But I need to go to sleep. Now I'm getting silly. Um, but what am I trying to say? Oh, so even when you write a query letter, if you're submitting work to a um, to a publisher and you write a query letter and a synopsis, you're you're giving the editor, the agent, whomever you're submitting that query letter to, you're giving them an idea of where that book fits in the world. Um, if you talk about your comp title, this is not turning out the way I want it to. If you talk about your comp titles, if you talk about, um, you give your quick quick 2 sentence pitch in your query letter, then those are opportunities for you to figure out where that book fits in the marketplace. And that, if you're working with an editor, will help them on the other end work with their sales team, work with whomever they need to do that other step of getting the book out to distributors who actually want to read and sell your book to the public. So the process isn't is different for self-publishers only in that you're taking on the role of the creator, the editor. Hopefully, you shouldn't be editing your own work. You need help with that more than likely. Um, but the creator, the editor, um, the book distributor, the publisher working with the printer, all of these things, you're taking it on yourself, as well as the sales and the marketing department. So you have to think about all those things on the front end, about how you want your book to land in the world. All right, so that's enough rambling for now. Um, I may do another post at some point about this later, but my head is starting to hurt from just talking so much. So I'm going to be quiet for just a second and I'm going to focus. So, what I have here is just a very generic face of a child. I would probably say, if I was looking at this face, this could be actually an alien. Um, it looks a little alien like. Oh, my. We don't want we won't want this child to look like an alien. So we need to do something about that. Could be a boy or a girl. Today it's going to be a girl because I'm thinking about a child in the 1940s who is playing on the playground, and she's actually looking older than what I want her to. So if I draw this again, it's going to end up looking something different. But since I'm very unfocused now in my drawing, it is going to be what it's going to be. and that's gonna be just fine. I'm just using um, some basic brushes. This is not going the right way. Some basic standard brushes that come along with Fresco. I need to upload my Cow's brushes that I have, um, so I can use those. It's on a different computer. I got to get a new computer soon. I really, really want a Surface Studio. I'm just gonna put that out there in the in the universe. I really want to. I want a Surface Studio. I do. So, but until then, I use what I have, and it's working just fine. Oops, oops, oops. Overdid that one. Yeah, she definitely skewed older than what I wanted, but it's all good. Not, not. Doesn't even matter. Um, so I'm focusing on her face right at the moment. I'm gonna now. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna show my age a little bit. I don't know if y'all remember, if you're old enough, if you were born in the 70s or the 60s. I was born in the 70s. um, my mom used to have these yarn ribbons, and I swear they used to dry my hair out. But I used to love them, and they had like these twists. They were like double strand twisted yarn. Um, ribbons that she would put in my hair, and eventually they would all unravel. They'd have to go in the garbage, and so what do you do? That's not what I wanted to do. All right, so forget the yarn. Oh, no, 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 I know what I want to do. Okay. I got a whole thought process going on, which is why I find live anything very odd because I'm still getting used to it. um, because I have a whole thought process going on in my head, and I get to share that with y'all. So, ha ha ha, that's what we do. All right. Dang, that's getting really muddy. So I want to clean this up. So I'm curious if there's people who are watching that have gone live. Um, if you're thinking about going live, if you are curious about this vlogmas, which is a mouthful thing to say, vlogmas. Um, but yeah, if you're curious about vlogmas, I'm sure there's lots of stuff online. I'm gonna put together a plan so that I can be focused in what I talk about. But right now, I'm just trying to figure out what her hairstyle is gonna look like because I have no idea. This is totally off the top of my head, which means I probably should just stop. So we'll do big fat twist, big fat twist buns on her hair. Hmm. Something like that. I don't know. Looks more like a cinnamon roll. Hey. Alrighty. I don't like any of that. Okay. So let's try it a different way. It's gonna look like a cinnamon bun. Maybe it should look all the way like a cinnamon bun. I don't like that one either. I was talking on one of these lives one time about how it usually, for some reason, there's a magic 20-minute mark, and I've probably just started to hit that where I start to settle in. And I don't know if you all have run into this in the creative things that you do in your life, whatever that may be. Um, if there's a moment where it kind of takes you a second to settle in. I think it's important to recognize that. I talk to people all the time about the things that they want to do. I don't know. I guess because I just like to hear people's dreams and aspirations, and sometimes I'll circle back with them and be like, "How's that thing going?" And I do that because I have people that do that with me, um, and so I'm just really holding space and um, for other people's dreams without meddling too much, as little as I possibly can, but just kind of checking in with folks. But what the reason why I was saying that is that a lot of times people have these ideas and they're great ideas, but we don't always give them time to germinate, and sometimes it just takes you putting your butt in your chair and being uncomfortable for a few moments before you actually start to get to the thing that you sat down to do. Um, and so I feel like I just hit that 20-minute mark. And it's all good. Just have to sit and be present for it. So, all right. So I have her face. I like the way that looks. It's very classic looking and pretty. Very classic. So it needs some cleaning up. It's very rough. Um, I do have aspirations of one day doing a middle grade book. So that's probably why my work is starting to skew a little bit older lately. I'm noticing that. And my children don't look as young. I mean, like the children that I draw don't look as young as they used to some years ago. And that also might be because my own children, that are the source of so much inspiration, are starting to age up a little bit. Um, so just try to be mindful of that and be aware of the audience that I'm drawing for and the characters that I'm actually supposed to be drawing. You know, do they look the age that they're supposed to look? So this, like I said, this child actually was supposed to be a little bit younger, and I usually don't do Disney eyes. Um, I don't, but I drew something recently that had Disney eyes, and so I think I still have that in my consciousness. Um, so this is what came out of me, which is also the benefits of when you draw all the time and draw often, then you can kind of be aware of where you are in that moment. Ah, yeah, that definitely made her look older. Crud. Okay, I'm tired of fooling with that. So let's just go ahead and do a little bit something lower. And then I'm going to get off this live because I got to go to bed. It's been a very long day of being on the computer. I do work a day job, and I'm on the computer all the time. And so sometimes at the end of the day, I don't want to see a computer. So today is that day. I just wanted to make sure I showed up for myself and showed up for anybody who might be watching. Whether or not you are, I don't see anybody on here now, but y'all might watch it later. And that's probably good that you're not watching it now. Um, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing too. And let's see here. Yeah, let's take some of that off. Here, do do do. And she's gonna have on overalls. And these are just off the top of my head overalls. I have no idea if this is quite right. Thinking about the overalls I used to wear. I was a youngin', and this is just a rough sketch. So don't judge me. I don't know. I might get used to doing this live thing over time and grow to like it. I actually do kind of like being on um, and just playing around. So playing is important. It's very important. I think I'm gonna stop. I keep saying that, but I think I am gonna stop because she looks really tall. This isn't the way I wanted it to look, but it's okay. I'm gonna draw a little bit more on this and then give it a rest. Yeah, she definitely, I don't know why she ended up looking so old. So what I am gonna do, see, benefits of having drawing digitally. I'm gonna go ahead and just erase her head. She's not positioned the way I want it to be. See if we can do this a little bit better. Body's okay for sketch. Now let's take the body off. Go back to the top layer. Erase the head. Erase the body. Let's see if I can shorten up this neck a little bit. That's part of what's making her look older. Also the positioning of her face. All right, so let's see if we can make some adjustments. Take her head a little bit. Drop it there. That helps already. For some reason, I don't know what it is. The limbs on my bodies tend to get long in the sketches, so it's for me, it's really important to do the sketches so I can get that out and not do that. Because a lot of times that will make my children look a little older than they're supposed to. So I just try to be mindful of that. But it's like it never fails. The heads are always too big in the beginning, and it may be because of how I start off with my rough sketches. Um, but the heads are always too big, and I don't know. Things just I have to adjust the proportions. So I think this is probably long arms again. I'm just gonna really just stop here because I don't want to draw anymore on this. I see that I'm messing it up, but I think it's a decent start for drawing off the top of my head. All right, and then since she would be playing outside, add a little stripes, something to that effect. Something like that. And my lines are not so good. But it's okay. I'm just overdoing it now. All those lines are not necessary. Definitely overdoing it. Especially for a sketch. Okay, so I think that is probably good enough. I'm just curious. I keep saying I'm getting ready to get off, but I'm curious what this may look like with if I drop color in. Let's just see. Hard pastel. I don't like that skin color. Let's try again. Definitely like it better black and white. But it may be worth playing with to kind of see what I can come up with. But I was just curious how that would look. Even better, let's try watercolor and see how that looks. I really like that. Fresco has these watercolor brushes in here now. That was one of the things. But when I first started off in it was, learning about illustrating children's books, I was using watercolor, gouache, ink, colored pencils, that type of stuff. And when I started going digital, I really missed the feel of traditional medium. And the water, oh, it's not flowing enough for me. And the water-based feel. Let's add some more water to this. And so I still want to play a little bit more with the watercolor brushes. So this definitely needs more reds in her skin now. Yes. So it's going to be something that I play with. But, I just wanted to see what that would do. I think the watercolor is so cool. Maybe I'll come finish it later. Who knows? Right now, I'm just playing around a little bit. Let's do a different layer. I keep saying I'm going to stop, but I haven't stopped yet. That's what happens when you play. Let's go clean this up a little bit. Mhm. It's messy, very, very messy. Um, I'm just kind of curious what this would actually look like. So I think I'm having fun playing with this watercolor business. Mm. Let's do one more thing. Since I was talking about the ribbons, let's just go ahead and drop these, excuse me, these ribbons with some color. All right. Oh, I drew it on the wrong layer. Doggone it. It's okay. All right, I think I'm getting ready to put it down. Yeah, I think that's good enough for play. Okay, so my name is TeMika. Oops, that's not that's not right. December 1st. I cannot spell. 12/1, 2020. All right, so my name is TeMika. Oh, one more thing I forgot. I do this every single time. It never fails. Shame on me. She has no white in her eyes. That's a problem. All right, so good enough for today. Just a little play to start thinking about what this character could possibly look like. I definitely would do more to this to see, um, what kind of thing, what kind of personality I can bring through the through the clothing, through her expressions, her body language. But for today, I just wanted to play. And I hope y'all have a wonderful, happy, great December. Here's to Vlogmas. If you want to learn more about me and my work, you can hop on over to TeMikaTheArtist.com. It's TeMika, theartist.com. Or you can check me out on any of the socials under TeMika the Artist. My name is TeMika Grooms. Also, check out Kids Lit ATL. Kids Lit ATL is a organization local to Atlanta that focuses on helping people get into children's illustration and writing and giving them the support they need to keep pushing through, putting their work out there. And we definitely want to see more diverse voices, more own voices, more people writing from their own lived experiences. So I encourage you to join us if you're interested in doing that. Come check us out and check out SCBWI. All right, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. And we'll keep on working on the production and getting better and better. All right, y'all. Take care. And let's see if I can figure out how to get this thing to stop. Mhm.